pretty big energy update. I am pretty late. Um, been quite busy, but yeah, definitely late. Um, we have quite a bit of activity going on right now. The Schumann resonance is going, yeah, pretty intense. So we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be getting into some things. So I hope you guys are doing good. Let me know how's everyone been. What's everyone been up to? There's a lot of symptoms. So I think a lot of people are starting to feel what a lot of other people were feeling. Super intense energies. Um, yeah, we got to get into symptoms. We're going to get into symptoms last. We're probably going to jump into solar activity, then Schumann resonance, then earthquakes, and then we're going to talk about some other things as well. Let me know how's everybody doing. What's everybody been up to and stuff like that. Again, like I've been saying, energy's been intense. Um, we might talk about the magnetic field just a little bit. I feel like I got to make a video on how to navigate these times since more people are awakening and oh, we're gonna get into like what people are going through and symptoms and some really big things because there's a lot of people right now that are struggling. Welcome everyone to the stream. Let me know how's everyone doing. Should we jump? Should we jump? Let's jump. So, solar activity. So, first things first is going to be solar activity. We got ourselves solar flare activity. Nothing significant, no M's or no X's. But what we have is a cluster of C classes. So, we have a lot of C class solar flares. A, a bunch of punches right now, a little bit of punches to the stomach, you know what I mean? They're all coming from a wide variety of sunspots. So it's no particular sunspot region, it's a bunch of them. And when we take a look at the sunspot regions, we have quite a bit. A lot of sunspot regions, and a lot of them are active. So let's take a good look at them all. These are all big, these have relatively fair size. 20 sunspots in this region with a pretty fair size of 20 million helions. 5 sunspot regions. This is actually pretty big in size. This one as well. This has a stronger chance for an M class. So as you guys can see, we have a lot of emerging, growing sunspots on our sun right now. So that is definitely, something we have to pay attention to, right? Because, any of these could launch an X class solar flare. 9 sunspots, 170 millihelions. Pretty wild. We have some really big sunspots, and as always, relatively quiet ones as well. So overall, quite a bit of sunspot regions. We do have quite a bit. Um, let's take a look at the coronal holes. So as you guys can see, here's the sun right now. I'm not gonna lie, we have so many coronal holes on the sun. So we have one big one, two, three, even though I don't think it's in the coronal hole detection map. Another one here, and another one right here. So we have multiple coronal holes. And coronal holes are places on the sun where solar wind can escape freely. So when we have these spots on the sun that are cooler spots on the sun, these cooler regions, and we have them getting stretched out, growing and growing larger, and we get all that solar wind density, especially some of these coronal holes are, can bring that solar wind density to Earth. And our magnetic field, gets a lot of solar wind, auroras, and of course, there's a correlation with solar wind densities, coronal holes, pretty much coronal holes, and all that solar wind density. Solar wind density, there's a correlation with earthquakes, and we've been seeing a lot of earthquakes. If you guys didn't know, Nevada's been getting rocked. There's been a lot of places that have been getting hit as well. So again, big, massive coronal holes right now on the sun. A bunch of them. I don't know what it is. So many sunspot regions. That's what these are, and so many coronal holes. if you really look at the last 4 months, 5 months, you wouldn't normally see so many coronal holes and so many sunspot regions at once. We would have one massive one, and that would be it. Now we have about 10 sunspot regions and about 5 coronal holes, which is crazy. So overall, wild solar activity, but it is what it is. Let's keep going. Schumann resonance. We got punched. Right after I finished my recording from last night. What's up, Tony? Is it? Then the Schumann resonance. I looked at Tom's Russia. I was looking at Russia. I was looking at all the precipitation, and I'm trying to see, is there a disturbance? Is there something going on over there? Tom's Russia has 0% precipitation and nothing for the next 5 days. Well, if there's no precipitation, no rain, no storms, then there isn't a disruption there. There's a disruption in our ionosphere, and that could be from the coronal holes, which we've had. We've had plenty of coronal holes facing us the last few days. We've had a bunch of C-class solar flares. Obviously, things are really changing up right now and rising up. The frequency is rising up. A lot of people, man, a lot of people, oh boy, going through it. We're gonna get into that. So how big was this energy spike, right? So on the Schumann resonance, we were getting blasted from hour 13 all the way up to hour 4. Trying to think, how many hours is this, right? Like 10, 11 hours? Almost half the day was just a big punch in energy. So we're definitely getting punched up with energy, high concentration. This wasn't a quick vertical spike. This was sustained energy, highly sustained energy, resonating at right from the bottom all the way up. How high? How high we're talking? Amplitude 1 hit 78, amplitude 2 hit about 37, and the other amplitudes were relatively quite low, which is fine. But insane, a power 78 is super intense. We're blasting through the charts. So this was highly sustained energy. It just kept going. About 12 hours of high intense output right now. It has been pretty wild. The Schumann resonance has been super active. Everything else, I think, is looking quite calm. Um, we do have this Q at quality 4 green, still resonating, stuck at 30 hertz, which is pretty interesting here. During that high volume output, we did notice it did shrink down very low, or not too low, but a little bit low though, which is interesting. But we do have hard to see, but it's definitely some odd activity. This odd activity is a disturbance in mode 3. That's why I call it odd, unusual activity. The unusual activity is an indication of potential things to come. So we say it's unusual because we still don't know exactly where it's come from. There's many reasons why earthquakes happen. It's not just solar flares, it's not just solar activity. Many things can cause earthquakes. It's not just the tectonic plates. Usually it's mainly like the tectonic plates and whatnot. But there's been quite a correlation with geomagnetic activity, solar activity, many things. So overall main thing would be tectonic plates and whatnot, things happening, things shifting, but there's a lot of things that happen. And when we see a lot of earthquakes, and we do see more of it on this band right here, even more, a little bit of white energy, a little bit of like I call them like the stretching energy. We have it here, we have it here. Usually something big could be coming, and we've had many big things happening. Taking a look at our numbers right now, intense in the red, 78, 37 on amplitude 2. Again, all right on the numbers. So super intense. The Schumann resonance has been very intense. It's just been a big punch of energy. For we should look into earthquakes, and then we're gonna get into symptoms. So here are the earthquakes. Um, Looks like California is getting hit with earthquakes as well. New Mexico, something really tiny just hit New Mexico recently. How many earthquakes today? 157 in just United States. Um, Yeah, we're probably about 200 if you put Alaska and Hawaii. But most of them aren't really happening around here. Overall, what's our high? What's our high for today? 5.7 in Japan and a 5.2 in Indonesia. And yeah, there's been quite a bit of earthquakes. Um, we are starting to get a nice ramp up in activity and whatnot. So things are definitely, intense and whatnot. Um, but yeah, overall, here are the earthquakes, main earthquakes that we have right now. Let me know how's everyone doing. So yeah, so there is earthquake activity. So that will be our update. So there's probably going to be people who say things like, "Oh, we got a magnetic field, so solar activity and things of that nature don't matter." However, something we've noticed and NASA's been tracking is that there's been an anomaly in the magnetic field, and somewhere around the southern area, somewhere in the southern South African continent, somewhere in that area, not that area, but in the magnetic field, there is an anomaly, an area that is expanding, and if I'm not mistaken, of course, it's kind of a weak spot that's been growing for many decades now. So, this is probably making a difference now because that means a lot of, that's why people are probably spotting more plasmoids. I think we have way more solar energy, aka all that solar wind density is kind of bleeding through the planet a little bit more because of a weakened magnetic field. I think it's interesting to know why it's getting weaker, and of course, you know, could that have an? I mean, if it has an effect on astronauts, an effect on, we've had a lot of satellites apparently, get destroyed because of big solar storms. Um, I think this does have an effect on people. I would assume it has an effect on people. I think a lot of people are really feeling the effects of solar storms because it's been pretty intense. It's been pretty wild what we've had. Um, but yeah, I mean, with a weaker coronal hole, and again, it's a weaker magnetic field. That's an interesting, very interesting thing. So something to definitely look at and pay attention to. Then, of course, we have what else? The symptoms. So people have definitely been feeling the nauseous, the tiredness, the shaking, dizziness. So there's been a lot of symptoms people have been reporting the last few days. A lot of people have been going to hospitals for whatever reasons. There's been like a lot of people I know that have been having extreme sudden pain, and then they all go into the hospital. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I've noticed a lot of people I know have been going to hospitals and have been having incredibly out of nowhere sudden sharp pains in the body and things like that. Again, I don't know if this is how they react to energies coming in because everybody's feeling something right now. I know a lot of people are weather sensitive. I don't think this is weather sensitivity though entirely. I think there's a lot more. I think weather sensitivity can can bring massive changes and whatnot, especially when there's changes in barometric pressure, humidity, and things like that. People feel different when the humidity is at 100% compared to 20%. You will feel a difference, trust me. Um, but there's definitely a difference, though. I mean, the weather has shifted significantly, and then that's begged the question: is it true that the magnetic poles are shifting even quicker? Honestly, I think they are shifting even more. I mean, they always shift, but I think they're moving a little quicker because the way again, I don't know if it's weather manipulation at this point. It looks like there's like a million things happening in the world right now. It's very chaotic. Um, there's just so much happening, and there's so much information out there. We really have no idea what the heck is going on, right? I mean, weather manipulation alone could make beliefs of magnetic poles shifting faster, more believable, when it could just be weather manipulation. And you guys know about cloud seeding, which is the biggest thing. That's why there's so many clouds and so much rain and so much this and that. So there's so much happening, and it's true that they do cloud seeding and things like that. They do all that. It's I think it's far worse than the whole chemtrail thing. I think the whole chemtrail thing might be little too much, because I think when they control the weather instead of just a little smoke thing, I think the whole weather manipulation is far crazier and wild. So there's definitely a lot of things happening. A lot of distractions, unbelievable the amount of distractions that are going on right now. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much my update. Again, we still don't know if the polls are shifting super quick right now. Um, Nobody's really talking about it. That's too trustworthy. I don't trust even general YouTubers. Like, we gotta get like someone who's actually legitimate, you know. But then again, they're just getting data from other people, so, and other websites and things like that, and those aren't as, they're not really true up to date. So it's gonna be really difficult for really anyone to get this information. All they could do is report on what NASA said. NASA's never a straight answer, so all the readings are gonna come from them, right? And I think most of you don't believe it, so come on, like, can we really believe anyone? Not saying that you can, but I think you get the idea. So yeah, ultimately, I think we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens. It's been pretty wild with the weather, but man, the symptoms people have been feeling. A lot of people have been getting like these sharp ass pains. They've been feeling like terrible, and I had family members go to hospital, and then I don't know, they're getting shots and stuff. I mean, what kind of shots? You know what I'm saying? Am I the only person who's gonna question, like they got shots for these random things? Like why are people getting random, like, big sudden hits of pain? Something's going on, right? Um, so it's pretty wild what's going on right now. We gotta really pay attention, to what's going on. We really gotta get focused and get locked in, because, um, the I mean, I think most of you don't live the modern life of work a job, and I don't know what else is there, right? Work a job, and then you have to like drink and this and that and do whatever it is to cool yourself down a little, right? This modern lifestyle, which a lot of people live, work and drink and work and party and something else. I don't know. Yeah, like, that modern life does not work anymore. So things are shifting, and we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen, but we need to stay present, and somehow, some way, keep going, right? I don't know. I don't know. Right? Keep going. It's hard for a lot of people. It's not easy. A lot of people are really struggling. We have this young generation. It's like, so I'm Gen Z, which is like people from 18 to 30, I think, right now. I'm probably off by a little bit. Might be 18 to 28. So I'm like in the middle. And so yeah, us, yeah, we're done. We're cooked. So there are a lot of people that are spiritual in my group. Um, there are, but I think it's like more new age, and I don't think they really go through that tough shit we go through. No offense, I just don't think they. I don't think they got it. Like, I mean, I think they're more intuitive than than millennials and so on. But I don't know. Maybe they're more intelligent, because more people have the intelligence now. But at the same time, I just don't think. I don't know. And then sadly, the little kids, right? So the one underneath us after Gen Z, so they're like what, 18 to 10 or something like that, 5 to 18, whatever. They're like, they're just copying us. So it's not looking too good right now. Um, it really is programs. It really is programs. It's a damn loop cycle, and we're called black sheep. You know, we're called bad names because we don't want to keep the loop going, right? We see the loop and we want to end the damn loop, right? And everybody's freaking crazy, but everybody thinks you're not normal because you don't do what's normal. See, everybody's been so taught and is so like programmed into their minds that they have to do what everyone else is doing. Because if you don't do what everyone else is doing, if you're not following everyone else, every time I'm walking on the streets and I see like a whole group of people, I used to be like, I would just stop and just look at all these people. They're all going. Everybody's just walking, going. Like everybody's so zoomed in on the. That's it. They're lost. They're on the phones. That's it. Or they're I don't know doing whatever they're doing. Like I'm so present and so aware. Even like back then, even like when I was a lot younger. And I don't know. A lot of people are just really living their life on a loop and not questioning anything. Thank you, thank you. It's good to have you here in the stream. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So yeah, a lot of people are like 100% just kind of going through life and not questioning anything. And then obviously, of course, yeah, you're super appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. Um, and there's like so many people that are just yeah, like they're not questioning anything, right? And then obviously, how you ever question anything in school? If you ever like challenge the teacher, question the teacher, question anything about them, they literally get pissed off at you for questioning anything. I remember there's teachers, they program you to go to college, right? They have to push it on you for some weird reason, right? Like this one guy, I think he spent the entire class, he forgot he was teaching. He literally argued with this kid. The kid was beating him in an argument, right? He actually convinced everyone to go against the teacher. It went backwards on him because the kid said, "I'm gonna go work in a family business." The teacher kept saying, college, the family business, anything could happen. It could close down. So you're gonna raise your hand and go to college like everyone else? So like I don't know, it was like kept pushing. Again, people are on programs these days. And they want to just keep pushing programs. And when you go against the programs and you see the damn loop, you become a loop breaker, pattern breaker. What else is there? Generational breaker. You're breaking the generational curses. You're doing all that, right? Damn, you're the black sheep, right? They call you that. It's annoying. So, you know, this is this is what we're doing. We're breaking patterns. We're breaking generational curses. We're doing it all for the heritage, the family, everything. We're cutting the BS out. All these new kids that are coming in. No offense, like even little kids. A lot of them, they're so intuitive. They question everything, and it gets you annoyed sometimes, right? Because when the kids question so much, because that's their brain firing up, kids can get annoying sometimes, right? Like you being a parent or an older sibling, the kids will question everything. They'll question the religion, they'll question God, and some people will be like, "Oh, you're gonna get in trouble for that," right? Boom, spanking, whatever, right? Something like that. You question everything. The kid's mind is firing, and I just learned this today. They're doing this because their mind is firing, and everybody, young kids, they don't really think. They don't have any programs. Everybody's conditioned. You're not gonna question a religion. You're not gonna question, right? And there's nothing wrong with questioning a religion. Priests understand this too, because a kid's intuitive. A kid doesn't know. But what people do is they'll put you in a program. They'll put you in a fear so you don't question or ever second guess a system. The reason why they do that and gets programmed in your mind is so you never ask the question. So there's nothing wrong with asking questions as a kid. But people get annoyed because of whatever reason, but you have to realize that those kids were just like us and they don't have any program. But what parents will do the second they question this, that, why they should eat the whole broccoli, the whole plate of food, why they should do this, why they should do that, why they should go shopping, why they should do or work a job, the parent will say no and get mad at them and just say you have to do it because of this reason, and program that kid. You have to work because your parents said so. You have to work because of this reason. When in reality, that's not always the case, and the parent was stressed out and just pushed a program on him. This is how the loop is going. This is what it is. This is what it's been for everyone. We're breaking the damn loop. That's just one. That is literally one loop. That's one thing. All right, all right, all right. Today we went. Today we went big time. Today I'm sweating. I don't know why. All right, today we went big time. That was good. That was good. That was a good live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, that's like literally how everything is going, and we're breaking it. And of course, when you break all the patterns and loops and things like that, what happens? Gotta burp. Okay, I can't burp. You get they lash at you. They get pissed off, and the reason why is because when your parents question their parents, they got pissed off at them. They get annoyed. People are like that. Like if you question your parents a lot, if you're a little 5 year old, they're gonna get so pissed off at you. Like most parents aren't happy. Like for me, obviously, like I gotta still get older, mature up and whatnot. Not mature up, but get older a little bit more. But like if I have kids in the future, as I get older, that questioning, trust me, we're gonna want that from the kids because they're gonna need that. Don't shut down the intuition because people are shutting that damn thing down immediately and they never question again. They don't question anything else. That becomes a trauma. So whenever they're gonna question the teacher, raise their hand to ask a question. It's like the same thing, right? You raise your hand, you ask a question. You say, um, I missed the answer thing. Can you explain it again or something? Your friend or your teacher says you weren't listening. If you got your head out of your ass, you're something like this. Some teachers are like that. You better damn listen and whatnot. I never answered that. I never raised my hand and ever asked that question again because that shit made me feel horrible. That didn't happen, but it's something like that happened, right? Like maybe people laughed at me or something. But you get what I'm saying. So people will do that, like they do that. It's messed up. It gets stuck in the mind, and you'll never ask a question again. So again, there's so many things, especially like us, we're like soft people, empaths, sensitive people. When people do something like that towards us, or says something, or makes us feel like it makes us feel like crap in public or anything, you'll never ask questions again. People like me that forget and ask a lot of questions and get embarrassed every time by my teachers and other people, it's trauma. So obviously, of course, I have so much trauma, I don't remember it all because it's so much, So I think I went many years in school without asking questions and failing on my damn test because I'm too afraid to raise the hand. Again, more BS I had to go through, and a lot of us go through extra BS for being sensitive people and being emotional sponges because it's our natural gifts. We're here to feel. Unfortunately, a lot of people really make us feel something. They pound so much crap in us, it sucks. So, I hope that's good. I hope those are a lot of examples of everything we're going through, especially my generation, as well as other generations. and it's something older generations will do to younger generations. And when that happens, we're just passing more trauma around. Excuse me. So as you could tell, a lot of things happening, a lot of things people have to heal through and overcome. As your intuition raises, the good news is we don't have to do you don't have to pay for a course. Excuse me. You don't have to do anything else. You're so intuitive. You just eradicate the trauma in your mind. That's what we do. So this is the day and age we're in right now, um, and we need to keep going. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I'm thinking more people will wake up. We woke up first, or at least woke up a lot earlier, if you know what I mean. And it's different. Waking up now versus the 1950s is different. We're on a whole different timeline, a whole different vibration, a whole different energy. We're on a whole different level. So it's awesome. But we need to keep going. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. That's really about it. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's gonna happen. Um, I don't know. Wake more people up, raise up the vibes. Everybody has to change. Everybody, everybody better do good. We better not loop again. They better not. They better not give good Kool Aid and entertainment. Everybody falls back into their BS, right? Like honestly, I'm afraid what might happen. They might lower all the gas prices, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I'll explain what the plan is. They might lower the gas prices. Everything might get cheap. The entertainment might get so good, right? Maybe in 6 months or a year. And then what happens? Oh, we forget about the bad gas prices for 6 years, the expensive homes for 6 years, all the businesses that fell off, all that. And then what happens by 2030? Who knows what the hell happens? So, there is a big push right now. It's interesting. There's a big push. I want to get to this last but not least thing. So, they said, I don't know when it was, in the early 2000s, that obesity was going up, right? Isn't it interesting that obesity was on the rise for so many decades? And instead of making cure for cancers and other things like that, there's a shot. You take a shot and you lose all the weight. I think it's interesting that of all the biggest thing that's being pushed right now are weight loss shots. The biggest thing, the most talked about thing, the biggest trend, the biggest push is a weight loss shot. Not something to cure cancer or anything like that. They made this a business, just like everything else. They made people sick, weak, all this fat food, all the crap they're putting in the food, people high on obesity, all those high carb diet, those blood sugar spiking cereals and crap like that, mess up everybody's health. Obesity on the rise, right? Everybody's eating out. That's like the whole thing nowadays. Everybody just eats out. And then what? Shots. The biggest thing pushed out shots. The biggest thing medical is like Ozempic and all that crap. I don't know if I can say names or whatnot. The biggest things that are pushed out there are literally shots and stuff like that. The biggest thing, like the most common thing right now is a weight loss shot. So this is all business here. The amount of crap that they're literally pushing out, right? They caused this problem because most people really shouldn't be that obese with all the intelligence and you know all the nutritional information that is out there and everything like that. But people are so addicted to eating bad, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a shot. This is how the system works. They keep you sick, so you depend on them. And then what do? Then a solution after many, many decades. So what I think is going to happen is there's a lot of suffering, a lot of financial issues and problems, and I would assume in a few years to come, they're going to get everybody stuck on that new world order by providing some sort of system to make everybody go with it because the old system don't work. I don't know what we're going to do. but we're gonna just keep going and take it day by day. They want to loop. They want to keep this crap going. What are we gonna do? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good night. Thank you.